The idea of the city is a place where everybody can just finally live in peace, where all the problems of America and the world even are taken care of when you're in the city. It's an idea I want to actually start to build. One where I can actually start raising money for as soon as possible. This is the point of this video, is to try to get donations. Here's a link for one. And once I can actually start building this city, then we can actually start taking care of all the problems that exist. And I'm just going to describe the city. That's the best way I can decide how to convince people to want to be here. It's out in the wilderness. This is in the Albuquerque area is where I've really imagined where it could be and decided how everything would work out for it to actually be able to be possible to be built and get enough people to get there. And the main focus of my city, which I love the most, would be the gaming system. It's a VR virtual reality gaming system with real world applications where the gaming area, instead of at home, you have to go to the city to be able to build. You have to go to the city to be able to play the game, but you will be given a headset and a handset for your controls, and this set within the city will be able to have perfect signal as if a phone. Now, the screen itself is going to be looking like it's either completely clear where you can see through it and have it so you can have real world reaction through a clear screen, or have it closed off because virtual reality you have to have more technology in it so you can actually feel like you're in a different location and block out the other lights, where you're actually, when it's off, you should not have the headset on when it's off, but when it's on, you'll be able to see everything around you as if it's any video game you want it to be. Once you have enough mods, you can literally do anything with it. And you can change it at will, because my idea is to keep it like a cell phone, where you have apps which you can choose from. And the memory on this gaming console is going to be amazing. A few terabytes it's going to have to be able to actually hold all this information. But the city itself is the actual console. This is just interact with the console. And everybody's going to be part of it. Now, you can play single player games, obviously. You'll be able to figure out a way to do that. But the whole thing, the city is going to be literally made up. So every square inch of it is covered in lasers. So it can scan everything going on within the city at all times. And they can transfer that information to tell you where you are in the city so it can navigate you on your screen as if it can know exactly where you are. And then everybody else playing the game will know exactly where everybody and everything is, because even those who can't afford the headset itself, let's say you go to the city just to buy some groceries items, and it's literally going to be everything that you need in this city. But you go in, they'll have an actual wristband or a watch that will monitor their whereabouts in the city, so that way you have an avatar for that person. You have to wear it either on your left or right hand. That way the computer basically will know the measurements of this person and put it in the city, whatever, it'll be a random avatar that you can't talk to, and you'll know because I have a little logo over it that these people aren't to be talked to. They're not part of the game. And that way that's like a natural avatar walking past you. It could be anything you want it to be, like an elephant, or we'll give it our own personalities where it's actually its own thing. But the cell phone aspect of it, you can, if you don't have any games on, you just see the city itself as it is, and maybe we can make it look prettier during Christmas and things like that, and put things that aren't really there. But decorations will be really easy because you just seeing it like normal, but you have to do it with people who aren't wearing the headsets too, so you may have to actually decorate, but look better in the gaming system. But the lasers, like let's say Xbox laser has those little green ones that spread out, and they have the videos on that. Well, it'd be the same concept, but all over the city. With this actual laser system, and also mixed in with a camera system, so we can actually keep track of where everybody is. Also, so you have basically the highest level of security, but no one will care because it's the whole point is so you can actually play your game anyways. Everybody knows that they're going to be monitored, so we know exactly where you are, so you don't bump into anybody, and we can have the game running smoothly and not having glitches. So, what's the next part? The lasers itself. We'll be actually able to have some real fun with this gaming system because you can literally have all the jobs attached to the gaming system itself. Now, let's go off a little rabbit trail. And the cool thing about these jobs is each person living in the city is a citizen of the city, and we're going to need at least a few thousand to be able to run the city, is given a house. They get free transportation from the city. They will get food if they don't want to actually make their own food. They'll be given food that is very healthy and actually changed per person to their dietary needs. And each person is required to work out for 1 hour a day, and they can negotiate what workouts are to the people that they have to answer to. If the gaming system, what we're keeping monitor for, you have to wear the headset. That way, you can monitor your vitals and everything like that. Every citizen will get a free headset of the gaming system, so that way they can actually do their jobs. And so, every citizen's job will be the easiest job in the entire world. Plus, they get a place to live and food. They get access to everything in the city for free, and they even get paid. Where you take the cost of the city's houses, which we're going to do like maybe 500 a month is the cost of it. We just literally just take that out of your paycheck, like a normal paycheck is what it's going to be. We take the money out as if it's taking care of all the commodities that you've given, just like taxes, and the citizen is still received a small lump sum. Now, if we can take care of, and internet's going to be taken care of, every gaming system known to man, plus the movies and TV shows galore, will be at your access. Literally, you'll have like a card that can buy you any PlayStation game that you want to get. And we have a deal with them. Basically, we'll probably do like a really good deal where you can get like probably as long as we sell 1,000 games in a week or even a day, then it's 99 cents per game for the city. That way it's cheaper, but we'll talk about expenses later. But each citizen was be only getting $400, maybe a week, maybe 200 if we can make sure that they have like uh, enough money to live off of, so they can have fun doing other stuff, obviously. And the nice thing about the city itself, the workers will be 6 days a week and only working 5 hours at least a day. Now the goal is to get after we have so many people that we don't actually have jobs for all the people in the city. We start lowering the hours where every person only has to work an hour a day, and you get to have all these benefits. Now, why this is a good idea is you get it paid for in small doses until we can actually get up to the level where we don't have to worry about money. Like, how I want to build it is, my plan is, if I have to start very low, the goal is $100 million to raise to be able to build a hotel. Yes, a hotel. Which will be the most amazing hotel anybody's ever stayed at and the cheapest. And basically, it's going to be the idea of the city in a smaller form. So this hotel has to have at least 500 short-term day rooms, where we sell it out for each day is $30. This should give us, I believe my math, if I'm not being stupid right now, is $5 million a year in sales if we are able to sell every room every night. And it has to have 500 long-term rooms that are more like houses, and those ones are going to be $20 a night. Basically, you get $10 off if you stay long term. Now, it doesn't have to be to one person for a year or anything like that. It doesn't have to be like apartment prices, but it could be like per week or per month or whatever. But it'll be $20. Now, this gets another, I want to say 2 to 3 million. I think it's two, might be $3 million for the hotel every year. So it's $8 million minimum, a maximum for the hotel to make. This hotel hopefully will only cost 10 million to build, but costs for hotel, if you want a good one where it's actually worth anything to stay at, it's probably going to be in the 100 millions. So $100 million for at least a good hotel that you can build with this amount of rooms. Underneath the hotel, on the lobby area, instead of just doing the lobby, it's going to be a mini mall, is my goal. And it should cost less if you build it all at the same time. But it may be more expensive. We'll have to figure that out, but we'll come to it when we actually get to that stage. But this hotel idea is once we have 500 hotels, it may take 10 to 18 years, I believe the calculations were, to get this. If we have one hotel, that's the starting countdown for when we'll have enough money to actually build the city. So with this hotel, we build enough so we can get 5 billion a year out of 500 hotels. In the lobby, the mini mall, basically a mall people want to go to visit to actually enjoy it, have a gaming center so people actually want to go for no reason, and have a food court where everybody wants to enjoy it. And then every hotel wants a pool. I mean, it has to have a pool, really. That's how you decide if you want to go to the hotel or not, if it has a pool or not. So this thing is going to be a humongous pool where one side is a literal pirate ship where the kids get to play around inside. Obviously, it's a toy version, but it looks realistic enough that's cool for adults and children alike. And basically, we'll have a section for adults and a section for kids, and the kids can pretend to steer and then go down slides into the pool. And the opposite side is completely normal. And then you obviously have to have a good hot tub, maybe one that even goes outside and has one inside, and you just have to go underneath a piece of glass and enjoy outside afterwards. And then have a beautiful like little garden thing going on. But anyways, these hotels we have to build at least 500 of them. We get 5 billion a year at the minimum, or a maximum we can make those amount of hotels. And now we have infinite income for the city itself. And now we build it at the rate of how much money we have. 5 billion a year, we can build it pretty fast. But obviously, we can always continue building. If we have extra money, we only spend half of the money, and then we still have half of the 5 billion to spend on hotels. We can just buy more hotels or do something else where we can make money and get money income faster. It's all towards the city, where we actually help people. Is the point of the city. I can't wait to get to that part of it. You're gonna love it. It's gonna make you cry. Stay tuned. But we build the hotels by, if we can't get the money, first we have to raise the money. That's what I'm doing this for. So I raise money to be able to actually get the hotels built. This is my goal and my dream. So with the starting of getting at least enough as a person who actually makes money on YouTube, that's the first step. And actually get a few 100,000, hopefully a year. That'd be a great amount because, right now, I'm the poorest of the poor. I'm the lowest of the low of the money income tree. But if I get up to a higher level where I can actually quit my job and advertise for the hotel, for the city, long term and every single day, that's literally my job, is to do this, and I get by doing donations from doing things on YouTube. For a while, I'm just probably going to explain my hotel idea. So much detail where to make it work, and it's going to be so much fun to get to depths of it. But if I can get to that first goal, making a few 100,000 to make sure my life is taken care of, then we can move to the second goal of actually making fundraisers around different parts of the United States to raise money, invite celebrities, tell people about the hotel idea, Hopefully it becomes viral, and that way people already know about it, and they just like, I want to donate to get this thing up and going because it's gonna be amazing. But if we can just get to that level where we get the fundraising going, so we can get the first hotel, and after that we get all the hotels within 18 years probably, then we can build the city. Or if people give us a lot of money, then we can build all the hotels right away and just build the city starting next year. That's impossible, but hopefully not. That'd be amazing. But then we get the city guys going. Well, now you understand why we don't have to worry about paying our employees. They get all these benefits because we get billions of dollars coming in from all our hotels that once the city is built, we'll use it to serve the citizens. I love my idea for the city. Literally, now no theft can be done because they have to destroy the vending machine with our cameras and lasers everywhere, tracking everybody. If you destroy something in the city, you're never live back in. So literally, our punishment is you be good or you're not allowed in our city. And we can make sure that because it's basically going to be a walled city where you can make sure no one can get in who's not allowed. And the nice thing about the wall is actually where people are going to live, and their houses is going to be the wall itself. And just have a gate where you have to open it with a special lock, and there you go, you got a wall. And then keep people out and have it so we can have a lot of apartments, and people will be kind of like excited about living in a wall anyways. But yeah, that's going to be the people who don't mind living in a wall. I love that idea. Each person's house is going to be tailored especially for them. If you're a single person, obviously you're going to get one house and one room, and then the living room with everything in it, and the kitchen always stocked. We stock it for you. The maids, you have a maid come over and clean your house every day, and that's the requirement of the city is you have to keep your house clean. And we also clean it for you, so it shouldn't be hard to keep your house clean. All you have to do is make sure that you don't be a slob, throw away your trash, things like that. And the maid can even throw the trash for you, so you don't have to worry about ever throwing the trash again. That takes care of that argument. And then you go even further, and the actual house is set up completely with being a smart house. You got Bluetooth and special actual like iPads on the wall, and you can basically plan everything in your day and have everything organized and be very happy about it. And if you need an office, you can get a free office, and then you just basically put the furniture in there for you, and then you just have to buy your own computer, and you're done. And now the nice thing about the money, I'm skipping over here now, is the money can actually be like a Bitcoin. We're going to call it a city dollar. Now it's going to be exactly how the Bitcoin did their money, where people buy one and you can use it anywhere over the world. That way, it actually is useful, and people in the military can use it, things like that. We can do the same concept, and that's just that one spot before the city actually stretches that far. You have it where you can have banks everywhere, or make deals with banks, and that way you can have your Bitcoin in it. And then the value of the city dollar goes higher, and each person who makes that $200 a week now will have the value of, well, Bitcoin today is 1,000 to $1. I mean, it used to be $1 for a Bitcoin. Now it's $1,000 for one Bitcoin. So same thing with the city dollar. $200. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a crazy amount. And anybody who's actually using the city currency will be just happy because now they're living on the city currency rather than the dollar. And then now we just get rid of the dollar. Takes care of that problem. Now we don't owe China anything because we'll just pay off the debt with Bitcoins. I mean, city coins. After we get rich enough, and it doesn't matter anymore. Literally making like $1 trillion a year because you have the entire United States involved in cities, and we just basically build our city everywhere near every major city and just take over. And now you control America. Yeah, and we'll make sure that we don't have crazy politics or literally there's gonna be no arguments in the city. I'll explain later. And I'll make another video with my friend who's really good at asking questions, and I answered them so much better last night because he was here talking to me. But this is the basic idea of the city, and I'm going to continue going now. So, pause moment. I can't think of anything. A blank moment. Anyways, so your house is taken care of. Make sure that you eat well, and you have to exercise, and then you have to be a good citizen. So basically, your job is to not be a jerk to people, and that's your 24/7 job. And the day off is going to be Saturday because everybody wants Saturday off. That's like the main day off everybody wants. and work Sunday through Friday, and only 5 days. I mean, 5 hours a day, and only hopefully goes down to an hour a day, so people have more time on their hands. They can do whatever they want. They just, oh, I've got to go to work for an hour. See ya, and there you go. And then you get there early, obviously, and then you have to leave a little late, and it's gonna be a little more than an hour, but the idea is basically you have enough time for people to switch places, and then you're good. And work for 1 hour, and then switch again, and we just don't pay you for that switching time, which may sound a little messed up, but people won't care with all the benefits they get. Free healthcare too, and oh, the city idea has perfect idea for health. Let me describe it. Now, this is my little secret. I am a Christian, and I read the Bible, and I found out that if the earth was with Adam and Eve and the flood happened, then the world before the flood would be completely different. And researchers have found out what it was that made the earth different. And the three things that happened was, one, you have an ice ring around the earth. Now that's crazy, right? But if it's true, this should keep out UV light, I mean, bad rays from the sun. Like every day, people are getting X-rayed from the sun in very small amounts, and your body is working really hard to make sure that you don't age very, very fast. And it's fighting against those X-rays that are happening from the sun, damaging you. And there's other rays that are bad, but ice and cement are the only thing that can keep you from being X-rayed from the sun or anything else. So you have to have a ring of ice as a humongous dome over the city. Now, that's how I know it's a good idea, because the Simpsons thought of a domed city, and they predict everything. So obviously this is going to happen. I just need to get time and people to invest in it. And yeah, it's not going to be like what happened in Simpsons, but they never actually have everything exactly as right. There's just like a little Easter egg kind of concept. There's a dome over a city. It's going to be amazing, but in their city, it's turn to chaos, I'm pretty sure. But that's not going to happen in this city, because we're only going to choose the best of citizens. Now, that's the nice thing about it. We're going to go out into America and choose people who are the kindest. And we'll have like lotteries for people who are very kind, and you have to prove yourself to be really kind. And that's all the requirement is to be a citizen, is being very kind and be a nice person, or at least pretend to be. Like you can fake it out by being, I'm a nice person, I'm just going to be nice to everybody and pretend. And as long as you keep in your anger and not like cause any true trouble, then you'll be fine. You'll be a citizen. Yeah. So that way we can have everybody involved. And if you're not, then you just don't get to be a citizen. If you're going to be a dick, we're not going to have dicks in the city. And you're not allowed to visit either. That's going to suck. Because, I mean, the city's going to take over. And if you're not allowed to visit the city, then you have to be nice. I don't want to come back in and get like a little tribunal where we decide, well, we're going to give you one more chance to come on in. And so, yeah. Going to be nice to be part of the city. Anyways, the first layer is the ice dome. I love that idea because it's going to look cool. And if we can't do that, where people are probably asking, how are you going to do ice dome? Well, the ice dome can be done by having 2 layers of glass. Hopefully I can figure out a better way of doing it, but right now this is what I have in my mind, because I don't really know the technology yet. I have no way to experiment, which I really want to find out all my plans and all my details to make this all work, because it's going to take a lot of technology. The computer room is going to be like in the olden days, where literally they have to have one the size of a room, and it only gets them a little bit, like a terabyte, to have one size of the room, like memory. But for us, obviously, we have good computers today, so we can have one the size of the room, where it gives us whatever higher than a terabyte. I'm not that technical because I haven't actually studied it, but the idea is there, where we can have a humongous computer system to actually make this entire thing work. I think it's possible. Even if it has to be a lot of little computers attached to each other, it's possible. But everybody gets their own computer, and we just we use it to run your council. But anyways, so the second layer of the city. Now, the first layer is going to keep you from aging. Keep that in mind, and it's going to keep you from looking ugly. You'll be, in theory, look like a 20-year-old until you're 50. And this is like in a few hundred years, if the cities actually survive. You'll look like a teenager you look kind of young. You're still age at the normal rate in a sense. Like you'll get to be a toddler at around toddler age. You get to be a baby, a child around the child age, and then a teenager around the teenage age. But then after that, you just stop aging because you're not growing anymore. Like your growing rate's going to be the same, but your aging rate's going to be different. Where you'd be a 20-year-old or even look like 15. Like it's going to look really young for a long time. but depends on how well this works. If we have no way of testing it yet, so we're going to find out by doing the city. But anyways, you should look like a teen until you're like in your 30s, and you should look like a 30-year-old. I mean, a 20-year-old until you're like into your 50s, and then you should like a 30-year-old until you're into your 80s, and then you'll start aging more then, most likely. But if theory works, people live 900 years. So it is possible that you'll look young for like 300 years. This is like a few hundred years in the future, by the way. But you'll look young for a few, like 300 years, and being a 100-year-old, in the Bible, it says you're going to be called young, and you're like a little baby at that point. So people are going to live a long time again. I hope it's because of the city, but we'll find out. That's the first layer of no aging. The second layer is a higher level of oxygen, a very simple concept. Where the oxygen level is higher, they do this in casinos actually, keep you more attentive and actually stay awake longer and actually gamble more. But we'll use it in a positive light where it actually just gives you more energy. Same concept. There's going to be no smoking policy, and this controlled, airtight city is going to have the oxygen level raised. And then the third layer I'm going to tell you the benefit of the other one because they kind of combine together to make it into good benefits. So the third layer is going to be a magnet field around the city in every area to make the actual magnetic field is going to match the Earth was before the flood. And it was a little bit higher. And they've done studies on this, and they actually found out piranha grows 4 times larger in a magnet field in around the tank. So we can do the same concept around the city, where a magnet field is the same level as it was in before the flood period. So these 3 things together, the benefits of it you'll actually grow taller. So the short people will actually be 6 feet, and then the tall people will be around 7 to 8 feet, even 9 feet if it goes for a few hundred years. And another thing is you'll have stronger bones, muscles. You're able to live longer, happier. So you'll be actually, when you look in your 20s, you'll actually be in your body will be the strength of a 20-year-old until you're like, what was I say, 50? But yeah, and then you're in your 30s now. As you're 50, you live into your 80s as a 30-year-old, and then 40s, and can keep going. And then eventually, you'll be able to even live 100 years looking like a teenager, and then start going downhill. Like, that's going to be pretty good. Like, that's why you're going to be a baby, because you'll look like a teenager at 100. Basically, keep your looks longer, is the idea. That's why you're going to be considered a baby at 100. Because you look like a child. I'll stay away from you. Probably gonna take that out. Anyways, then you won't get old. You won't have any of the sicknesses that are outside in the world, because we can actually track anybody who comes in. We're in the headset. It's literally a medical set too, where we keep track of your vitals, your heart rate. You can actually measure your blood every now and again. And the idea is to keep you at your healthiest, so that way, one, you want to work every day and not feel like shit when you don't get sick, so you don't have any call-ins. It's the idea of lowering the cost of everything as much as possible. And why it has to be a headset, not like any chips in the brain, is I'm against the chips in the brain and on the hands, or in the hands. As long as it's like wearable, you can take it off, you don't have the mark anymore. Oh shit. I think it's okay, but I'm staying away from anything that might even resemble the mark. And you know what I'm talking about if you're a Christian, and you probably know what I'm talking about if you're not a Christian. And no one wants it. Everybody knows, you know what? I may not believe, but I know about that mark. I'm just not going to do that to be safe. I can not believe and still be safe about it. But yeah, anyways. So the next part of the city, another great part of the city. Oh, I really hope this is